All right, before we dive in and start looking at the different content types we have available to us at the Convert and Ascend stages, let's look at the goals. Remember that this certification is about tying business goals to content marketing so that it's not just this fluffy thing that's like, oh, we need to be creating great content and there's no ROI there. We want to make sure that we're always connecting back to a return on investment. Remember that business owners care about revenues and they care about costs. And so what are the goals? What are the business goals that can be solved with content at the convert stage? And one of the things I want you to pay attention to is in this video and the one in the next one, you're going to see the difference between the convert stage and the ascend stage. Let's start with the convert stage. So there are two main goals that we can attain by creating content at the convert stage. So the first one is activating new buyers. So if you're sitting around in a meeting or you're sitting there thinking about your business or you're looking at a client's business and you hear them saying things like, hey, we can't seem to convert leads into buyers, or we can't seem to convert traffic into first-time purchases. Then you want to be really focusing in on creating convert type content like we're going to cover as we go along here. The other thing you're going to want to do at the convert stage is liquidate traffic costs, or what we call acquisition costs, most of which is made up of buying traffic. So remember, as we've been going along here, you've been looking at different content types and the traffic traffic tactics that are available to you at those stages. And a lot of times I've been telling you, be willing to buy traffic. You need to be willing to buy traffic today. And this goal here at the convert stage, to liquidate the cost of that traffic. What I mean is, we're going to go into these metrics here in just a second. But what I mean by liquidate is we're looking to break even on the acquisition of new buyers. Okay, so let's take a quick look here. Activating new buyers, liquidating acquisition costs. So what do I mean when I say activate new buyers? It's incredibly important, and any business that's doing any sort of scale knows that getting that person to buy the first time is one of the most difficult things to do. And so you can see here, on the left, we've got a little pop-up here that says we want to give you 50% off for your first frame, right? So what they want to do is if you've never bought from us before, we want to go ahead and activate you. We want to get you to buy that first time, because it's never been harder to get somebody to buy that first time. And it's really never been easier, assuming they had a good experience the first time, to get them to buy the second time. So getting that first time purchase is a really important part of the convert stage. Look here on the right side, we've got a little information product at Digital Marketer called the Content Booster Jumpstart Pack. And you can see it's just a little $20 product. What you're going to see at this convert stage is most of the offers are lower dollar, right? They're not super expensive. And so we're looking for somebody to be able to sort of dip their toes in the water and get started with us by either giving them a super deep discount or giving them something that's low ticket. You can see that this is, if you look along the top of this graphic on the right, this is a limited time sale that's 98% off, right? So it's a super deep discount. All right, so activating new buyers is something that you can do here at that convert stage. And then the other thing we want to do is liquidate activation or acquisition costs, right? The acquisition of leads is expensive, right? So if you're buying traffic and running them through a lead magnet, like we talked about, or into events and getting those subscriptions and you're getting leads, that's expensive. But at the convert stage, you can liquidate that cost by selling something to those new leads. And you want to do that, most of us want to do that immediately. Let's take a look at the math here behind your marketing. So on the left, taking a look at this graphic, on the left, you have any sort of traffic source. Okay, you've got Facebook ads, AdWords, YouTube ads, email marketing, social media. It doesn't matter where the traffic is coming from, but Let's say we're driving them into a lead magnet here, and you can see that on the left. So we're driving them into a squeeze page that we talked about in the last module. And this particular squeeze page is asking you to opt in, give us your contact information to receive the content marketer's hiring guide, right? This is how to hire a content marketer. If they put their email address and name in there, we're going to deliver the lead magnet, which is on the right. You can see it kicking across there. We're going to deliver them that value in exchange for the contact information. That is lead acquisition. That's the subscription stage. Then we're going to make an offer, right? We're immediately make an offer to say, hey, look, you're trying to hire a content marketer. Maybe you want our content jumpstart pack. It's $20, right? And so this is a great example of a convert offer. And assuming we're buying traffic over here, like let's say we're using Facebook ads or AdWords or YouTube ads or something to run traffic into that squeeze page, this little $20 product can help to fray those acquisition costs, that traffic cost. It can even liquidate them completely or get you a slightly above break even. Let's look at the math here. Here's a scary slide. I know you were told there'd be no math. I thought this was about writing and content, but business is a lot about math a lot of times. Let's start in the upper left-hand corner on this slide and work our way to the right. And so in each row here, we have two different scenarios, math scenarios. In the first one, we have a perfect situation where we're driving 1,000 clicks into a landing page, and those clicks are costing us $1 each. We're spending $1,000. So the landing page conversion rate, let's say, is 50%. And so we are getting 500 leads, all right? So we drove 1,000 clicks into a squeeze page. Remember, like in the last example, it would be that content marketing hiring guide. And so we now have 500 leads, and then we make them that first offer. And we call that offer an EPO, or an entry point offer. And so it's that little $20 thing. So we're gonna make them that $20 offer, and we're gonna get 50 buyers. Let's say we convert that at 10% of people that came through and became a lead by our little $20 product. And so we now have 50 buyers that bought the $20 thing. That's $1,000 in revenue. So remember that we spent $1,000 on traffic. We now had 50 new buyers. We activated 50 new customers at a revenue of $1,000. And so what's our net at the very end? These last three rows show us that we are now at break even. We have a zero net, zero cost per lead, and zero cost per new customer acquisition. So that's what CPA, CPL, and net. When we say net, we're like, did we make money? Did we lose money? What you're looking for, this is a perfect scenario here where you're able to scale. You are able to acquire new leads and customers at break even in that top row. Let's look at a less than ideal situation in scenario 2. You've got 1,000 clicks, same amount of clicks, same click cost of $1 cost per click. The big difference is that you now dropped from 50% conversion rate with your lead magnet to 10%. So your content marketing hiring guide is not working, right? They're not opting in. They're not giving you their email address. You're only getting 10% of traffic to convert. So now you only have 100 leads, and your entry point offer converts at the exact same. So your content booster pack, or whatever your little small offer at the convert stage is converting at the same that it was in the first scenario. But because your lead magnet was performing so poorly, you now only have 10 buyers because you're still at 10%, but you're only at 10% of 100 leads. So now your revenue is $200. Your cost is still the same. You're paying $1 a click, and your lead magnet wasn't performing. So now you've got a cost of $1,000, which means you're netting negative $800. Okay, so you're losing money in that particular campaign. And then your cost per lead is now $8, and your cost per acquisition of a new customer is $80. Now, you might look at that campaign and say, that's great. I would love to be buying leads for $8 and new customers for $80. And this might be a perfect scenario for you. You need to know, what's the tolerance level here? Like, are you willing to pay $8 a lead and $80 a customer? Maybe that works perfectly for your business. If you've got a scenario like scenario 1, where you've got a zero net, in other words, you're not making any money on this campaign, you've got a zero cost per lead, and you've got a zero cost per acquisition, this is a fantastic campaign. This is where you want to be pressing the gas. Because remember, at this stage, our job is to liquidate acquisition costs. If we're buying traffic, we want to liquidate those costs with these small, offers, these little $20 offers. And if you're in scenario 2, you might have a perfectly good campaign as well. You might be like, yeah, man, I would love to spend $8 per lead. I would easily spend $80 to acquire a new buyer. But you need to know your numbers. You need to know where you're trying to get, and you're really trying to get to break even. You're trying to look to break even so you can buy traffic, acquire leads, and acquire new customers. Now, in this module, we're going to be talking about how to use content to increase these percentages, right? To increase the number of people that are converting on your landing pages and your sales pages. All right, so exciting stuff. In the next video, we're going to talk about a different outcome here in the ascend stage.